Are you resisting struggle in your life when that's the one thing that might actually be helping to get you to the very next level? Let's talk about it. Welcome back, everyone. Eric Allen, Life Absolutism, and I want to talk to you today about struggle and why we actually struggle to resist the one thing in life that's actually going to bring us to that next level, and that is struggle itself. So we're struggling to resist struggle. And that might sound a little bit redundant, right? But what you need to understand is a lot of times in life, we go out of our way to fight off any bit of resistance, to fight off any bit of difficulty, to really just kind of hold ourselves in that safe zone, which is the exact place where growth is least likely to occur. All right, let me elaborate on that. You have to look back in your life and you have to think to yourself, how many times did I end up in a position that was much better off than where I would have been had I stayed in something different, had I stayed in that house, had I stayed in that job, had I stayed in that relationship? I will be honest with you. There are a few relationships I've been in my life where I struggled. I resisted losing those relationships, even though there was some part of me that knew deep down that that relationship was not right for me. I resisted losing it. Why? Because I had feelings for that person, because I thought that that was something, because I was struggling to hold on to something that I thought had more meaning than it actually did. But come to find out, when I'd lost that relationship, I ended up in a much better place, looking back at that very relationship like, wow, did I ever dodge a bullet? There's so many situations in life that are like that. How many times did you lose a job and in that moment you're like, shit, what am I going to do? This is the worst case scenario. I'm going to be tapped for money. I'm going to be stressed. I'm not going to be able to make ends meet. I'm not going to find another job that gives me that level of freedom or responsibility or pay, whatever. And then you end up finding something so much better. And you look back at the situation and you say to yourself, wow, I can't believe that I actually resisted moving away from that thing. I can't believe that I actually thought that I was in a better position staying in that position than moving forward. And that's just natural. It's not that it's anything within you. Obviously, if you look at the situation, you look at yourself, there's nothing wrong with you. You're exhibiting normal human behavior. There's something inside of you called the ego, and the ego will fight tooth and nail. It will fight every step of the way to preserve what it has because it does not like to lose. It doesn't like to lose. And that means it also doesn't like to lose the things that are bad for it, the things that don't serve us. So that relationship that you're holding on to, that routine that you're holding on to, that job that you're holding on to it because some part of you feels like you're going to suffer if you lose that thing. You're going to experience a setback. You're going to be sad. If you lose that relationship, how long are you going to be single for? If you lose that job, how long are you going to be job hunting for? If you lose that opportunity, when's the next time an opportunity is going to come your way that will be similar to that one? But the thing is, in life, our greatest amount of growth usually occurs in those moments of struggle. So just like me with the experience of having those relationships, when you lose something, yeah, you might not know exactly when the next time that opportunity is going to come along, or that next person, that next job, whatever it is. You might not know when that next time is going to come, but it will come. That's an absolute certainty. You will have another relationship. You will have another job. You will have another opportunity. You will have a new chance at that thing. It's just a matter of time. Now, we can get into the details of you being proactive and going out there and putting yourself out there and trying to be a little bit more involved, pursuing a new job, pursuing new skills and new talents, things that'll bring you to the next level, meeting new people, going out to where you can meet new people. We can get into the intricacies of those, but we don't really need to. The most important thing to know is on the other side of suffering comes some form of happiness. So think back in life to all those times when you were happy, how you got out of something and you thought it was going to be the end of the world, only to get into something so much better. Now, I'm not going to say that losing a relationship, you're going to feel absolutely fantastic after a while, because I know what it feels like to lose a relationship. I know what it feels like to look back and long for that person and hope that that relationship comes back together. But I also know that after a while, feelings begin to fade and you will find someone new. You will find a new job. You will find a new experience that will replace that one. And be it better or for worse, it's going to change you. It's going to shape you. I have actually gotten out of relationships that I longed for only to get into a worse relationship and think, my God, this is terrible. But to be honest with you, I grew more in that process. I grew in that relationship. As horrible as that relationship was for me, I grew in it, because I learned things. I learned boundaries. I learned what I like and what I dislike. So even if it didn't serve me on a level of being happy versus non-happy, I was able to grow through it, only to come out on the other side to get into an even better relationship, and then come out of that one to get into an even better relationship. And the same thing goes with jobs. You lose one and you think it's going to be bad, only to find that it's not going to be that bad. Now let's talk about suffering when it comes to terms of getting to that body that you want, getting to that opportunity that you want. Yes, it suffers, but we've all heard the saying, choose your suffering. You can suffer the pain of struggle, or you can suffer the pain of regret. The choice is yours, but you're going to feel one thing one way or another. So really analyze that. What's more important to you? The point is, behind all of this, the point is you need to understand that through suffering comes growth, right? In our most darkest periods in life, our darkest points, the things that we think that we're never going to get through, we seem to get through them and we come out stronger. We come out with new information. We come out with a new perspective on things. And that's what you need to understand. Stop resisting the change. Stop resisting struggle. Just sometimes allow yourself to feel that slight amount of difficulty, especially as a man. Especially as a man. If you resist struggle, you're really holding yourself back. It's only struggle in this world that has ever propelled us forward. Guys didn't get to where they are today. People didn't get to where they are today by avoiding the hardships. People didn't jump in covered wagons and start venturing out west without understanding that there was risk that came along with that. Explorers didn't, travel the high seas and explore different continents without understanding that there was going to be suffering, there was going to be cold, there was going to be this major unknown factor, this large component of question mark. What's going to happen to me out there? I don't know, but there's going to be cold. There's going to be famine. There's going to be sickness. There's going to be, who knows if we'll ever find what we're looking for. But they did it, and they pushed on, and they drove through the struggle to become successful in the end. Not everyone has a successful story, but regardless of whether or not you get to the outcome that you're looking for, you're still not in the position where you started. You've grown through your struggle. So that's the point. Just don't hold yourself back. Give yourself the opportunity once in a while to feel a little bit of difficulty and see in that moment what it drives you to do. When you go through a breakup, does it push you to go to the gym? Does it push you to make yourself better, to gain more muscle, to start dressing differently, to change some things about yourself and just feel better overall? When you lose your job, does it force you to level up and take on new skills and learn new talents and broaden your perspective so that you have more to offer the next company? There's always something to benefit through struggle. You just have to be willing to endure it. That's the point.